Everybody, welcome to week 6. All right, week 6 is my favorite week of the entire term. Why? Well, we're talking about browsers. You think, wait a minute here. Why are you so interested in browsers? That's not that big a deal, right? Actually, browsers are fascinating. I think they're really interesting because they are, as a software program in themselves, very interesting. But it's because any talk of browsers is going to require us to talk about the internet and what the internet actually is. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show another video that really does explain it a lot more, the internet and browsers. This one is just going to be kind of introduction stuff. So keep an eye on anything new that comes up. There's going to be another one that's going to be in the discussion board. But if I have any other videos, I will do my best to try to get a video up there on the internet. So what are we doing this week? Well, we're talking about browsers, and that's going to prompt us to talk a little bit about the internet as well. Make sure that you go through the entire lecture this week because it is very, very helpful. We cover a lot of stuff: browsers, internet history, ethics online. How do you basically kind of stay safe online? Also things like fact checking and how do we determine kind of real news versus fake news, all that kind of stuff that you may hear about in the news, right? We will have a little bit to say about that as well. And so this week, there are 2 assignments you're going to be doing. One of them is a reflection, and the reflection really is this very broad question about the internet and browsers. Now that you've known all this stuff, now that you learned all this stuff in this week's lecture and this week's discussion board, has your browsing history changed? Have you changed how you actually surf the internet or approach the internet? Do you use different kinds of browsers now that you learned something about them? Are you more careful now in social media? We've been talking a lot about social media, haven't we? Just some reflections on that. Remember, at least 150 words there, but really let yourself have an opportunity to really reflect honestly and openly about what has changed, if anything, about your internet habits. So that's one of the assignments. We always, as always, have that discussion board, and we're going to get into that in a little bit here. And then we're also going to have an Excel assignment. And this is a fun one. It's an easy one. It has to do with charts and graphs. That's all I really need to say. Enjoy it. It's actually pretty fun, pretty easy, but it does get you into the charts and graphs in Excel if you've never done those before. And they can actually be fun. Yes, I know. Excel can actually be fun sometimes. It really can. So those are the assignments you're going to be working on. Now, the discussion board, and I'll have another video for the discussion board, so make sure that you look at my post and you read it and you watch that video as well. This one's going to be about browsers. So there are going to be 3 different browsers, I think 3, maybe 4, and you're really going to be kind of comparing and contrasting. What are they? Why are they different? Don't all browsers do the same thing? Are there some features in one that you don't have in another one? Why do you use Google Chrome all the time? A lot of students will say, well, I just use it because that's what I use. Oh, okay, yeah, but why do you use it? Because you use it, right? Think about it a little bit more. What is it about this browser that makes it kind of your go-to browser? And when you compare them, are there any real discernible differences? Or are they all essentially, in your mind, the same? Okay, this is an opportunity for you to really look into what browsers have to offer. This is things like extensions and add-ons, and I'll have more to say about that as the discussion progresses this week, but also things like security features. What's called the incognito browsing, right? Everyone's talking now about is Google basically, following you around. How secure are you? How private are you? Is that a big deal for you in browsers? So that's a couple things that you can talk about. Certainly, I will prompt you to talk about in this week's discussion. So lots going on, lots of really interesting stuff. I hope you get a lot out of it, folks. Thanks.